very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidushni Sadis Kumar.
Good evening, I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines. A kilogram of red sugar will be available for 130 rupees from Wednesday. Operations are continuing to find unregistered rice mills and illegal storage facilities. The number of persons who have received both vaccine doses increased to 7 million. The WHO and the UNICEF praise Sri Lanka's vaccination process. It has been revealed that there is a program to socialize false information about the vaccination program. Moving on to the stories in detail. State Minister Lasantha Alagiwana says that steps have been taken to sell a kilogram of red sugar for 130 rupees from Wednesday. That's to the Satosa and cooperative outlets. During a media briefing in Colombo today, he said that raids are continuing to nab traders who illegally store essential food items, including sugar. State Minister Lasantha Alagiwana said that a special gazette was issued on 11 June 2021 on maintaining storage facilities for paddy, rice, sugar and wheat flour. By 13th of this month, 161 paddy, 117 rice, 74 white sugar, 52 red sugar and 32 wheat flour storage facilities have been registered at the Consumer Affairs Authority. The authority has sealed 52 illegal storage facilities in the North Central and Eastern Province so far. 3 sugar stores have also been sealed today. 600 metric tons of sugar has been stored in those facilities. Legal action will be taken next week against the owners of the stores that have been sealed.
Consumer Affairs Authority has launched operations to find unregistered paddy mills and illegal storage facilities. Operations were conducted in the Polonnaruwa and Anuradhapura district. 2 storage complexes in the Polonnaruwa district were sealed yesterday following a raid by the officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority. Polonnaruwa District Office of the Consumer Affairs Authority launched the operation on information that a group of persons who is not paddy mill owners are gathering and storing paddy stocks in the district. Stores have been set up at Aralaganvilla, Katuwanvilla and Nikapathalanda areas. 500,000 kilograms of paddy have been stored at those places. STPs were taken to file court cases against 3 owners of storage facilities. Consumer Affairs Authority has launched a 4-day operation to find unregistered paddy mills and illegal storage complexes in the Anuradhapura district. Accordingly, 3 paddy storage facilities were sealed at Katagas Digilia Divisional Secretariat area. Anuradhapura District Senior Investigation Officer BACT Pereira said that the raids have been launched according to the gazette issued by the government to provide rice at the government's guaranteed price to the people. He said that farming communities should give their harvest only to the Paddy Marketing Board, Satosa, and for registered paddy mill owners.
This is a quick check on the local COVID-19 situation. Health Minister Kehli Rambukwela says more than 7 million people have been received both vaccine doses under the COVID vaccination program. He mentioned this by issuing a Twitter message. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization and UNICEF have commended Sri Lanka's vaccination program. 7,042,418 persons have received both vaccine doses under the COVID vaccination program. 1,518,103 have received vaccine doses during the last 7 days. 188,052 have received vaccines yesterday. Minister Kehli Rambukwela said that the government expects to vaccinate 60% of the population by mid-October. Meanwhile, Health Minister Kehli Rambukwela has said that the country's vaccination process has been praised by the international community. Issuing a statement, he says that the WHO and UNICEF has commended Sri Lanka's vaccination program. The minister said that Japanese, Cuban and US ambassadors and Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka have highly praised the vaccination process. He said that it was mentioned by the WHO and UNICEF representatives and the US ambassador during the program to provide 100,000 vaccine doses to the country yesterday. The COVID vaccination program was successfully implemented island-wide today as well. Vaccination of persons above 60 years and people with special needs by visiting their homes is continuing. The Sri Lanka Army has deployed mobile vaccination vehicles. It has implemented this today in Gampaha, Colombo, Kalutara, Kilinochchi, Jaffna, Wabunia, Trincomalee, Galle, Matara, Hambantota, Kandy, Kurunegala, Mannar, Batticaloa, Badulla, Monoragala and Polonnaruwa districts. The Army implemented a mobile program to vaccinate persons above 60 years at Meegoda area. These are programs to vaccinate persons more than 60 years of age, organized jointly by the Army and Galle Municipal Council, taking place at the Galle main bus stand yesterday. The first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine was given there. Maduraval MOH office and Anguruwatota police held a mobile vaccination program for persons over 60 years and for persons with special needs yesterday. Well, Sri Lankan Airlines says that 95% of the airline staff and 90% of the airline operation staff have been given recommended COVID vaccines. Chairman Ashok Patharage said that 4,500 employees of the airline has been fully vaccinated since February. Western Province Ayurveda Commissioner Dr. Mala Pereira says that the program implemented by the Ayurveda Department in the Western Province to treat COVID patients at homes is successful. 3,698 COVID patients were found from the country today. 2,204 left hospitals and treatment centers after recovering from the virus. Following rapid antigen tests on 115 at Dambana Indigenous Peoples Village, 44 corona patients have been found. Family members of the Indigenous Peoples leader are also among the infected persons. Meanwhile, police have arrested 718 individuals for violating quarantine curfew regulations within the 24 hours ended 6 a.m. today. 61,006 have been arrested so far in connection with the offence.
Fact Check Research Group has found various individuals are constantly publishing false information to make the vaccination program unsuccessful. Fact Check Research Group has published a special note about the truth and falsehood about health authorities fleeing without giving vaccines. The group has pointed out that certain organized groups are trying to socialize false news about complications in vaccines over social media. Meanwhile, it has pointed out that another group is trying to devalue the services of the health service. The closest incident was reported on Friday from a vaccination center at Hikkadua, Rohana School in the Galle district. An individual has released a video over social media stating that health authorities fled the place without giving vaccines to the people at the place. It can be observed that anyone watching the video that he is criticizing health authorities in a lowly language.
විද්‍යුත් MOH එකේ මිනිස්සු විදින් නෑ බෙහෙත් ටික. කිසිම ක්‍රමවේදයක් නෑ මේකේ. මේ බලන්න ඉතුරු වෙච්ච අරගෙන යනවා. ඔය බෙහෙත් විදින්න තෝ රංගිල්ලා පුස් කන්නද මේවා. මේ මිනිස්සු බේර ගන්න මේ බෙහෙත් විදුපියව. චෝ විරුව රණ විරුව රට විරුව අර විරුව හෙළ විරුව ඔක්කොම කිය මුන්ට අපි ගරුණ අම්බුලාම දෙනවා. මුන්ට බෑ අපිට බෙහෙත් එක විදින්න. මේ බෙහෙත් වෙන්න මේක ඇතුලේ. මේ සෞඛ්‍ය සේවා දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව. මේ බෙහෙත් විදපන්ලා මිනිස්සුන්ට බැරෙන්ඩිස්ටරින්. බල අරන් යන්නවා. සක්කිනේ ගන්නවා.
Fact Check Group has disclosed the details about the person. He is a resident of Devanigama Gramanildar division under Rathgama MOH area. The group has said that person has not been informed by the authorities to come on that day to get the vaccine. Fact Check Research Group disclosed that he has received the first vaccine dose from a center in Colombo. The group has found that individual has contested Rathgama Pradesh Sabha election from the United National Party in 2018 and at present an active member of Samagi Janabala Vegya. Fact Check Research Team says the individual is criticizing health sector to get political gains by showing that vaccination is unsuccessful. Meanwhile, Southern Province Health Services Director Consultant Dr. Chandima Siritunga has expressed views to the Fact Research Team about the incident. We have planned to vaccinate 4 Grama Seva divisions under Hikkadu MOH. The Hikkadu MOH office issued the required number of vaccines. Priority was given for the persons who received the vaccine on the 25th of July at the school. Health authorities, along with Grama Nildari officials, have successfully planned the program, but other groups who are not under those Grama Nildari divisions had arrived at the place. One such group is fishermen. They have informed they could not get the vaccines since they were in the sea. Another group has arrived on the information that the vaccines are given. They are not under the relevant Grama Nildari divisions. A conflict has occurred between the two groups. The relevant officials have cordially informed them that they would be given if there were remaining vaccines after being given in the planned group on that day. However, acting violently, they have threatened health officials. Since the situation could not be controlled, army troops have arrived at the scene for the protection apart from the police officers who were there. They have been securely evacuated for the protection of the health workers. Another point is that the vaccines were taken away, which is a falsehood. The waste, including the containers that take medical equipment needed for vaccination, is taken back and properly disposed. It is for those equipment that they have said the vaccines were taken away. What will remain is only the second dose that has not been taken after taking the first dose. Meanwhile, issuing a statement about the incident, Minister Kehele Rambukwala said that an organized group is trying to bring disrepute in the country to Sri Lanka's vaccination program, which has been commended globally. The Health Minister said that the Health Ministry has paid its full attention in that regard. He pointed out that various groups are trying to disrupt the vaccination program through various methods as the way they try to demotivate war heroes when defeating terrorism. The minister said it is not surprising to see such acts as this challenging moment. Minister Rambukwala said that Director General Health Services was instructed to inform the IGP to conduct an investigation into the Hikkadu incident.
The president of the Association of Specialist Physicians, Dr. Malkanthi Galhena, says that the patient home isolation and management system allows the COVID-19 positive patients home treated within a stress-free environment, contributing towards a speedy recovery.
We have identified while providing this care, the patients are really getting more stressful once they are being diagnosed as COVID positive patients. So we really take that responsibility of reassuring them and provide necessary care in order to not to go to complications of this disease during the home stay under our care, because there should be two ways of getting the mental relief for these patients. One, our medical team, we have trained to provide the reassure the patient and relieve the anxiety as much as possible by educating about the recovery. And the number two, they are always with their family members. We strictly advise patient as well as the family members to be away from the patient by distancing and as well as wearing masks and not to go too close to the patient. Once the patient is being diagnosed as COVID patients, they have taken away from the family member, and the patient was so stressful, thinking that patient may not be able to see the family members again because thinking this is a really deadly disease. That stressful situation also will not be there with patients. When we inquired, they are really appreciating this system because even though they have temporarily separated, they are under the care of family members, and as well as they have the proper support whenever they need, the moral support as well as the physical and other social support from their loved ones.
Economic centres island-wide were open today for wholesale traders. A large stock of vegetables have been received by the Manning Wholesale Trade Complex by this morning. Traders said that there was a decrease in vegetable prices when compared with the previous day. A large stock of vegetables have been received for wholesale trading today with the opening of Manning Market. Traders said there was a reduction of the arrival of wholesale traders today. Narayanpeta Economic Centre was open from morning for wholesale trading today. Paligoda Central Fish Market was also open today. Traders said a large stock of fish was received by this morning. Capitipola Economic Centre was also opened today. Official in charge in the centre said there was a reduction of traders arriving from provinces.
State Ministry of Home Affairs says that 2,838,530 families who have lost their livelihoods due to the quarantine curfew are entitled to the 2,000 rupee allowance. Providing of the allowance is successfully taking place island-wide. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that the 2,000 rupee allowance has been given to 116,434 families in the Gampaha district. 326,858 families are entitled to the allowance. The remaining families will be given the allowance soon. Providing of the 2,000 rupee allowance for families in the Kolonnawa area took place today as well. 150 families in 67 Grama Seva divisions in the Amagamu Divisional Secretariat area were given the 2,000 rupee allowance yesterday. Low-income recipients' families in the Balakadua System C colony of the Kandy Akurana Divisional Secretariat area have been given the allowance yesterday. More than 6,000 families in Ratnapura Divisional Secretariat area were given the 2,000 rupee allowance, and also 3,092 families in Yatiyantra Divisional Secretariat area were scheduled to be given the 2,000 rupee allowance in the first phase, and 396,000 rupees have been given to the families yesterday, and that's to 198 families. 53,390 families at 22 divisional secretariat divisions in the Anuradhapur district are being given the 2,000 rupee allowance.
Sri Lanka Customs says that all exports and imports during the last week have been approved and cleared. The Customs said that they have been able to maintain their services as usual during the quarantine curfew period without any obstacles. Export Facilities Centre of the Customs was open for 24 hours during that period. Exports by shipping lines have been handled without any delay. The Customs said that steps were taken to expeditiously release all essential goods, medicine and medical equipment to the local market imported for local consumption during this period. It has approved exports of local products valuing 54.25 billion rupees by the industries approved by the Board of Investment. It has also approved exports valuing 49.24 billion rupees during the quarantine curfew week. The Customs has collected 9.02 million rupees of tax as import levies and 7.45 billion rupees during the quarantine curfew period as import taxes. During the 7 days of quarantine curfew, exports valuing more than 90% when compared with usual exports have been exported. During that period, Sri Lanka Customs has earned more than 82% of usual import taxes. Director General of Customs, Major General Vijitha Ravipriya and his officials are taking measures to maintain their services as usual for the stability of the country's economy.
Well, the government has decided to launch a national program to produce organic fertilizer using the Epavala phosphate deposit. Under the first phase, 50,000 metric tons of organic fertilizer are expected to be produced. It will be the first time in the history of the country that such a program is being implemented. Well, farmers in the country have commenced using organic fertilizer with the steps taken by the government to ban importation of chemical fertilizer and agrochemicals. The government has decided to produce organic fertilizer using a Epavala phosphate deposit, which has been not used to produce organic fertilizer. It will be implemented as a joint program of the Colombo University and Suntech Institute. Geologists say that there is more than 60 million metric tons of phosphate in the deposit. The new program to produce organic fertilizer from Epavala phosphate deposit will begin soon to provide the people with toxic-free food.
State Minister Siripala Gamlat says that a group of people, including Mahasangha, are protesting without knowing the correct information about the walking path project on the bank of Parakrama Samudra. The State Minister said that steps have been taken to recommence the project after discussions in future with the Mahasangha, intellectuals and the farming community. The proposal to build a walking path on the bank of Parakrama Samudra was approved by Polonnaru District Development Committee. The constructions were entrusted with Irrigation Department after getting approval from relevant organizations. However, when the constructions were taking place, a group of people, including the Mahasangha, staged a protest. Accordingly, the project was temporarily suspended. State Minister Siripala Gamlat said that VIBs will be obtained from the Mahasangha, farm organizations, intellectuals, principals, doctors and all others. There are groups who oppose anything. Many people would see the negative effects but not the positive aspects.
Minister Johnston Fernando says that development activities in the country are continuing amidst the COVID pandemic. He mentioned this while attending the inauguration ceremony to build a new bridge in Polonnaruwa yesterday. Well, this bridge will be built connecting Puaggaha Ulpatagama and Kottapitiya villages across the Bakamuna Yodala in Polonnaruwa in the Alahara Divisional Secretariat area. 50 million rupees will be spent to build the bridge. A group of people including Polonnaruwa District Development Committee Chairman MP Amarkirti Atukorala were present on the occasion. Minister Johnston Fernando said that the aim of the project is to provide travelling facilities to the public under the President's program to build 100,000 kilometres of roads and 10,000 bridges. The necessary activities are taking place even in the midst of the pandemic with necessary precautions. If they are taken as an example, it does not need to close the country, he said.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that late Mr. Elmo Gunaratne directed media into a new path who walked both in English and Sinhala languages according to his own language style. He is an award-winning senior journalist. Mr. Elmo Gunaratne commenced his professional life as a journalist by leaving law studies and worked at Lake House, Reuters, News of the World and Manchester Guardian. Issuing a condolence message in connection with the passing away of Mr. Elmo Gunaratne, the Prime Minister has said that late Mr. Gunaratne has kept a record in the history by working in both languages.
Well, that's it on the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs. Take care and good night.
Good night.